Welcome, everyone, to Tasker Arena. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball. Live on the radio, Cool 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. It's the 66th annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament here at Tasker Arena. Ty friend Ron Gunter with you. E.B. Stuber back at the station. And Ron, big game for the Hobbs Eagles tonight. Of course, last night they got the big win here at home against El Paso Parkland. Mercy Roll victory, 73-37. Tonight they're going to take on a team they haven't ever played before, at least the high school. It's over there in Amarillo, Texas, and it's Holy Cross, a private school. And kind of a neat deal going on with that squad is their coach is Austin Turner, who graduated from Hobbs High in 2006. He played several years as a player for the basketball team. His brother, Tyler Turner, also was a Hobbs Eagle graduate, a little bit younger than Austin, but he's his assistant coach. So that adds kind of a neat twist to it. Again, these teams have not played before in the history of the two programs.
And he loved the fact that he came back, and the magic is still here at Tasker Arena. He talked about that. You know, he was the top rebounder in 4 and 05 when he was here, and then became the top scorer with 22.6 points a game. And he did play in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Of course, you mentioned as well Tyler Turner, his brother, younger brother, and he led in trays during the whole team in the game, or in the season for the 2007-2008 season. So they both have some time here. They know what the floor is like, even though it is a newer floor. They thought it was a great, magnificent floor, and they want to go out here and try to see if they can be the first team that has players from the Hobbs Eagles that do not play for the Hobbs Eagles that will win this tournament, and they have a chance to do that against this Hobbs team.
Yeah, Austin spoke at the banquet this morning with all the teams and coaches, referees, etc., and he mentioned, I believe he said that he was a senior at Hobbs High when Ronald Ross was a senior at Texas Tech, and Ross did communicate with him and had some sessions with him here at Tasker when he had a chance to come home, so that's kind of a neat twist as well. But he has lots of respect for the program, and boy, you definitely want to put a feather in your cap to beat the Hobbs Eagles on their home court.
Exactly, and they've been hot and on a roll. Of course, both sides have been hot and on a roll. Hobbs has had 6-game win streak, and then the Mustangs basically have had an 8-game win streak. So these two teams have been hot so far, but one of them's got to lose, and the best team is going to win. Of course, the losing team is going to have to go ahead and get back that winning streak again.
Hobbs has been having some real consistent scoring, just like last night's game again, 73-37 over Parkland. 18 for Braddock Beatty. He increased his average to 12.4 a contest with that scoring, and 6 points in the second, 6 points in the third, and definitely doing a great job. He scored in all 4 quarters of that ball game and also had 3 rebounds and some great breakaways after steals, etc., getting up the court for some layups. Malachi David, 16 points and exciting numbers in that first quarter. He was perfect on the charity stripe, 6 for 6 from the line. Didn't get back on the line the rest of the game, but it improved his free throw shooting by 8% for the average. He's up to 77% now just on that 6 free throws he put through.
Right.
Also had 4 baskets in the second quarter for 8 points there, but again, another double-digit scoring night. Malachi also with 5 rebounds.
I expect to see Malachi again. And, you know, one of the things that we haven't seen too much of, but we're probably going to see later on in this season, is him attempting threes. I think he's pretty much trying to get himself situated underneath the basket, get those situations where he can get the basket or get the bucket under the basket after receiving a pass inside. I think if he does that, I think he'll be very successful. But the three-point game, don't forget about that.
Yeah, he is the second leading scorer on the three-point line with 15 trays behind Soria's 20. And Soria did make one last night. He had 19 prior to that. But those two combining for 35 of the three-pointers converted by the Hobbs Eagles. And Lyric Soria also in double digits last night. He had 12 points. He had the only tray, 1 for 1 on the line, and 3 rebounds. So those 3 guys, Beatty, David, and Soria, combining for 46 of the Hobbs Eagles' 73 points, a lot more than 50% of the scoring. Other contributors, Josiah Clay had 6 points and 3 rebounds, 4 apiece for Adrian Mora with 5 boards coming off the bench. All his points coming in the fourth quarter. Justice French of the senior with a couple of buckets for 4. And I forgot to mention, Javen Hernandez had a great second half. He had 7 of his 9 points in the third quarter and also 5 rebounds. We're starting to see some consistency on the boards, too. We've had several games where guys have been tied at the top, 5, 6 rebounds apiece. Malachi David was that way last night. Adrian Mora and Hernandez all getting 5 rebounds.
Yeah, with the turnovers they caused and the rebounds that they got, Hobbs gave themselves plenty of opportunities to be able to get into the game and stretch it out, which is what they did. 20-0 run is what they had at one point, and that was a good one after a 3-point shot happened in the first of the second quarter.
Yeah, rebounds 31-16 in favor of the Eagles last night. You mentioned turnovers, 23 caused by for Parkland Matadors because of the Hobbs Eagle D. Hobbs in single digits at 9. They came into the contest averaging 17 turnovers a contest, so that's pretty good getting down to singles what the Hobbs Eagles did in that ball game. And free throw shooting almost perfect, 8 of 9 for 88%, but I guess you got to give most of the credit to Malachi David, that 6 for 6.
Exactly, and yeah, David really did. He stepped up and was able to hit every single shot. Cool as the other side of the pillow, and made sure that he got those extra points. And unfortunately, nobody else was able to get on the line, but nevertheless, though, that happens sometimes when you're playing clean ball.
Parkland, one team that the Eagles have faced this year, had nobody in double digits scoring in that ball game. That's a big-time defensive feather in the cap for Coach Ross and the squad. They did manage to hit 5 trays, so once in a while teams are breaking open on the perimeter, but not enough damage for that because Hobbs still winning by 36, the mercy rule. Eagles improved to 9-1 on the season. You mentioned the team they're playing tonight, Holy Cross, been on a win streak lately, a 9-5 record at this point. Yep. Last year they were 30-4, 13-1 in district, lost in the second round of the playoffs in the regionals to Victory Christian Academy by just 3 points, 47-44. That Victory Christian team had gone 4 deep into the playoffs too, so they were a very tough challenge there, and so kind of a disappointing end of their season, but still 30-4, nothing to sneeze at. A kid that's returning from last year that's a very good player, Willie Atak, 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in their first game of the playoffs when they won over Avia Christian 75-72. Mao Tong had 17 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds also in that victory as well. Atak and Tong both returned to the team this year, and there's 3 Ataks on this squad, so they got a big family affair going on this team this year, so we'll have to kind of sort those guys out a little bit. Again, we mentioned Tong, too, is back on this squad. Now, they got the win over Mayfield, 63-57, a 6-point win in yesterday's first round. Willie Atak, 6'4" kid. He's a senior. He had 20 points to lead the team. Definitely get some scoring done for that Mustang squad. MJ Tung had 12 points. He was 4 for 6 from the free throw stripe. And Mao Tung, the guy we just talked about from last year's playoff team, 12 points, 4 for 6 from the free throw line. Those were the top scorers on that squad. And, of course, they took on Mayfield, the team the Hobbs Eagles beat a couple of weeks ago on the road.
Right, exactly. And pretty much everything they did that day except for the very beginning when they had a problem with the numbers. They had misrepresented the numbers on the score sheet. Other than that, they played perfectly against this Trojans team that always gives you a lot of problems. And this time around, they've lost their second game in a row, which is unusual for them, but they will probably bounce back. But in the meantime, yeah, Holy Cross is definitely out here to win, and the Turners definitely know what to expect for this Hobbs Eagles team.
I'm just praying that all 3 of the Atak kids are not on the court at the same time. You got a Kuhn Atak, you also got Willie Atak and Tong Atak. So, and there is a kid that played in the same area. They're all from the DFW area originally, and now they're playing in Amarillo. But there's a Kual Atak from the Fort Worth area. He is a redshirt freshman for Oklahoma, and he had a torn Achilles last year, and now he's back on the team. He had 24 points the other night, 6 trays, and against the Mississippi Valley State. So there's a lot of Ataks around the Panhandle, Amarillo, down to the DFW area zone as well that are making their names in the basketball scene around Texas. So hopefully they don't do too much damage against the Eagles tonight in this contest. But they got some scores. It's a private school. You can pick and choose some players that come on in. And, of course, when you have a coach like a former Hobbs Eagle that we mentioned already with Mr. Austin, he is definitely wanted to pick off this team in front of this 6-man crowd.
And they're pretty good on offense. They get a 60.3 average per game. So if they can get that, they may be able to have a chance to. But Hobbs, of course, is doing so well against these teams that are on the defensive side and try to get the offense to work. And, of course, as so many people say, you know, good offense, or the best offense is a good defense.
They did shoot 70% on the free throw line against Mayfield yesterday, 14 of 20. Only hit 1 3-pointer. Whoa, we lost the power in here. As I guess our equipment is still on. All the lights went out. Maybe they're going to run some spotlight action.
Yeah, it looks like they will be.
That's news to me.
That's a first.
Well, it looks like the only thing that's flashing right now is the scoreboards. I guess they're showing some videos right now, but I was mentioning the 3-pointers, 1 for Holy Cross against Mayfield, 5 for the Trojans, so a little bit of a difference there, but I think they like to get inside quite a bit. They got some talent, some size. We mentioned that Willie Ataka, he definitely can get up and down, 6'4", and he's ready to lead this team to a battle against the Hobbs Eagles. Well, we're going to kind of figure out here if that was intentional to turn off the lights. We haven't seen that before, but we'll have to cross our fingers we're not having a power issue. We'll come back with the Hobbs Eagle Hoops action, the semifinals getting underway here at Task Arena against Holy Cross. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Hoops, a holiday tournament on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Task Arena. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner with you. Evie Stuber back at the station, getting ready for some semifinal hoops here at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 66th annual. As we mentioned in yesterday's production, too, the Eagles have been to the championship game 55 times in the 66 years of the tournament. And they have 38 wins with 17 losses when they make it to the championship game. They haven't won back-to-backs. They did one last year, but not back-to-back since 2003 through 2006. They had a couple back-to-backs in that little time frame there. So that's kind of interesting. And, of course, the Hobbs Eagles always want to win this tournament and kind of jump-starts them to the second part of the season. Big tournament coming up next week, APS Metro, and that will be a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday situation for both the boys and girls. And plus, you've got them at Odessa Permian on Saturday.
Exactly, and that's going to be a good game. Should be a 3 o'clock tip-off time, 4 o'clock in Texas. And it should be pretty good to see what they do. It's been a while since they played Permian, but it's going to be interesting to see how Hobbs can react to another Texas team.
Yeah, that's the thing about Texas squads. They usually have about 10 games under their belts by the time Hobbs gets to face them, and that's the same case this year. But Hobbs having a chance to check up with an El Paso Parkland team last night and beat them by 36, so they are well told and ready to go. Starting lineup for the Holy Cross Mustangs, Austin Turner, the head coach, former Hobbs Eagle, MJ Tong, Con Ding, Peter Weinheimer, Mao Tong, Willie Atak are your 5. So they only have 1 Atak on the court out of 3, which will hopefully help me out just a little bit as we move along. Starting lineup, as the last few games have shown for the Hobbs Eagles, Braddock Beatty now averaging 12.4 points a contest, also 4.5 rebounds a game, and 2.3 assists. He's third on the team in three-pointers with 8. Malachi David, the big center post for the Eagles, he moved up his scoring to 15.5 points a game, leading rebounder on the team at 8.6 a contest, and now shooting 77% from the free throw line. He is second on the team in three-point shots with 15. Lyric Soria, the point guard, averaging 14 points a game, 90.6% from the charity stripes, only missed 3 free throws, and the leader in three-point shots with 20. Josiah Clay, he's averaging 9.8 points a game and has 4.3 rebounds a contest with 5 trays. Another starter for the Eagles, last but not least, is Adarius Proby. Kind of had a quiet game last night, but he's still averaging just over 7 points a contest and 3.3 rebounds. Those are your Hobbs Eagles. They're shooting 68.9% from the free throw line after an 8 of 9 performance last night, averaging 17 turnovers, although they got those numbers down big time last night with only 9 turnovers, and averaging close to 8 steals a ball game. Hobbs shooting around the 45% mark from the field and about 32% from three-point range. What do you think the key of the win tonight for the Hobbs Eagles to get to the championship?
I think they need to just go ahead and get out there, play their game, to play the game they know, just like they did last night against Parkland. Be able to go ahead and trap, get those turnovers and get the fast break points, and those easy points, layups that is, are going to be nice to see as they mount up and be able to get that win if they can do that.
Holy Cross Mustangs 9-5, black uniforms, red numbers. Your Hobbs Eagles wearing their white home uniforms with the gold numbers and black trim. That is the game you'll be getting here in 30 seconds. Hobbs versus Holy Cross, semifinals of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Come back with us in half a minute. Back live here at Tasker Arena, 66th Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Eagles would like to make it to the championship for the 56th time in the history. As they're out in the court second will be David, finally getting a guy about his size out there tonight as he'll jump up against Willie Atak. Atak at 6'4". And again, the starters for the Eagles, David, Soria, Clay, and Proby. Beatty as well. The tip into the timeline and picked up by Beatty. First drive of the game. Shot from the right, block up the glass, and boy, what a driller that time. Clinked in for 2, no chance for it to hit the rim at all. Still on the inbound, put back up on the right block. Laying it in is Clay. It's already 4-0 early. Eagles pressure on with the trap in the backcourt. Holy Cross going to weave it down the far right sideline and finally coming across the timeline with the dribble. Lost it behind his back, though. And taken away, Weinheimer lost it. Braddock Beatty picks it off, throws it back to left side of the lane. Clay gets stripped as well. It looks like Eagles might recover as they try to save it as Holy Cross on that far left sideline. They got the steal momentarily, but could not track it down. Already 1 turnover for Holy Cross, which led to a bucket. Eagles up 4-0.
Hobbs lucky it wasn't a kickball. It went off of Clay's foot and into the hands of Beatty.
4-0 Eagles, 7:26 first quarter. Inbound to Beatty near the timeline in the front court. Man-to-man defense for the Mustangs. Stop and go dribble around the left circle to the left corner. Fakes a shot, then goes to the rack with it, leads and shoots out the glass. Boy, Beatty on fire. 2 buckets for 4. Eagles up early 6-0. Inbound to the near sideline, thrown across quickly to Ding. He spins in the lane, double clutch, fade away off the back of the rim, tip back over the front of the iron, and put in for 2 for Willie Atak, the big post player. And the Eagles down up 6-2. Long pass to Beatty at the other end, right wing. Cross court left to Clay. Gets through two defenders, shot from the left block. It's hammered as he goes up. And taking out part of his arm that time, Mao Tong. A little bit late in responding, but the Eagles shooting quick in the paint run.
They are. They're making it decisive and quick, and they're doing a pretty good job of getting their aim as well. 6-2, and I'm loving their energy. They had the energy yesterday. He said at the beginning of the game they were lacking that energy. That's why it was a slow start. But once they got their energy, it got back, and they were peaking at that point.
First team foul against Holy Cross. That was Mao Tong. First free throws up and good for Clay. Came into the game shooting 69%, 24 of 35. He's got 3 points. 4 leader is Beatty right now, 3 for Clay. He's going to try to tie it up with his second free throw. Taking a lot of time, bit in the knee, shots up and good. 4 points each, Beatty and Clay. Eagles up 8-2, 6:50 left first quarter. Bounce in the paint is going to be stolen by Clay again. A lefty lamp and puts it through. He's got 6 points. Well, the former Hobbs Eagle coach, Austin Turner, says, nope, I do not want the tourniquet to get too loose here, as he's going to have to call the timeout. The bleeding has started. 10-2 Eagles over Holy Cross. Back at 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to Tasker Arena, where Hobbs is leading not only in points but also in steals. 3 steals against this Mustangs team. 10-2, 6:45 remaining, and we've got Ty with a call.
Semifinals Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Eagles trying to punch their ticket against Albuquerque High, the team that won earlier this afternoon. They beat Artesia. Inbound to the deep right corner of the backcourt. Ding gets it, and he gets double teamed quickly by Proby and Clay. It looks like somebody hammered him there. They're going to call the foul on the Eagles. That is Proby's first team foul against Hobbs in this first quarter. They're going to give it back to the baseline here. And they'll have it thrown in again by Willie Atak. Gets into the far right to Ding. He tries to drive up the sideline and getting bodied out of bounds. Proby just put a hip into him, knocks him to the floor. That'll be the second quickly on Proby, second team foul. Getting a little bit too aggressive, and coach is going to talk to him, subs him out, and brings on for the first time tonight Javen Hernandez. Good showing for him in last night's game, as he had 7 points in the contest for the Hobbs Eagles and 5 boards. Bounce pass up top to Talk, over to the left wing to Ding. Gives it up top of the circle. Spotting up a 3 is Tong. Mao Tong off the back of the rim, tipped up in the air, pulled down underneath the hoop by Mao Tong. And the shot is up and taken down by Braddock Beatty off the rim. He's off to the races of the dribble. Top of the circle, the front court. Stop and go. Kick out left to Soria. Right back to Beatty in the left corner. Returns to Soria left side. Crossover move. Goes to the rack. It's tripped as he throws up a scoop shot up the front of the rim and foul. Count the basket for Soria. He saw 2 defenders there. Just got between him, put his head down, and scooped himself underneath them and scores it. So Soria's first bucket of the ball game. Chance for a 3-point play. They call that against Atak, his first, second team foul.
That was tight coverage. He was able to squeeze in there just because he may just have the right size of that one, but able to get through it and up and in. That was a strong shot that he took to get that and one with the foul.
90.6% of the line this season for Soria, 29 of 32. Of course, last night the Eagles 8 of 9 shooting against Parkland from El Paso. And a big win by 36 points. Shot is bouncing around and good for Soria. He's got 3 scores in the books for the Eagles. Their biggest lead now is 11, 13-2. Mustangs going to sneak in a sub here. Isaac Ramos seeing his first action. One of their guards. Inbounding will be a Talk on the left baseline. Gets it in left corner to Ding. Throws it back on the give and go to Talk, the inbound man. It gets knocked off his hands near sideline. Nice D by Soria to kind of ricochet off of him. That'll be the second Mustang turnover. 6:06 left first quarter. Eagles by 11. Soria inbound near right sideline in the front court. And coming back with a deep pass underneath to David. Gets underneath the hoop and kicks it out left to Hernandez. Up top to Clay. Dribbling through his legs, stop and go, spin in the lane, leads and shoots over the front of the rim, a push shot over the iron and scores. Boy's got a quick first step against these Mustangs and leads the team with 8 points. 5:52 remaining here in the first. 13-point Eagle lead, the biggest of the game. Pass down to the left corner to Talk. Lost the ball, stripped by Clay, it ricochets. Picked up at the top of the arc, though, by Houlihan. He goes to the rack with a finger over the front of the rim. He had just barely checked in. Paul Houlihan's first bucket, 15-4. Here comes the Eagles. Hernandez down the left lane. Bounces it back door for the layup for Clay. Clay on fire with 10 points. Nice assist there by Hernandez. A 13-point lead once again. Long pass to the other end, gets booted out of bounds on the right baseline off the foot of Beatty. Boy, Beatty was tracking hard behind Con Ding and making sure he was going to turn that up the baseline for a drive to the hoop. It will be Mustang basketball on the right of the rim. Clock will stop at 5:23 left here in the first. Eagles by 13. Do you like the pace so far, Ron?
Absolutely. It's favoring Hobbs, and it's what they wanted to get from the start when they didn't get last night.
Ding inbounds right wing. He had to jump forward to Talk. Jab step taken on Beatty, far sideline. He'll back out, stop and go. Cross court left to Ramos. He'll drive the paint. Underneath and shoots, rejected by David. Pulled down by Hernandez for the Eagles. And he's going to send it ahead into the front court to Clay. Dribbling through his legs on the right wing. Stop and go. Gets stripped for a second. Falls on the floor to try to recover it and gets tied up. And unfortunately, with the tie-up, that will be a jump ball and an arrow going the other direction for the Mustangs as Ding underneath the pile that time. The first turnover for the Hobbs Eagles.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but it was a quick turnover, easy and clean. Nobody got hurt, and that's really what matters.
Trap pressure defense in the full court. Double team on the left corner against Ding. Nice job for Soria and Clay. He gets through it somehow and unloads to the far right sideline. Crossover move to the front court and an unload to the left wing to a Talk. He'll drive hard with his left hand, fumbles the ball. Beatty strips it from him. Third turnover for Holy Cross. Sends it ahead to Soria. Double clutch off the left glass. Soria now with 5 points. 19-4. Eagles' biggest lead is 15.
Soria showed the presence and slowed down on that one.
Ramos jacks a three from the left wing for Holy Cross, their first tray of the ball game. The sub coming off the bench, 19-7 Eagles. Long pass to Beatty. He goes to the rack with a finger roll off the left glass and scores. Nobody's stopping Beatty. 6 points for him. Eagles on a roll, 21-7, up by 14. 4:13 left first quarter. Into the front court, Ding on the far right. Clay stripping him a couple of times. Able to pick it up, though. Bounce it up top to Ramos. He'll send it to the left corner. Wide open to Talk for three. Nothing but net on the rainbow jumper. 5 points for Talk, second tray for the Mustangs. They're now down by 11. Half-court inbound towards the near sideline. Saved by David Hernandez. And I'm not sure if it hit the sideline. I think it was a turnover. They're going to say he stepped on the line in front of the Tasker Ridge band. So that will be the Eagles' second turnover.
Absolutely was. He was really close to it. Didn't know how close, and neither did he.
On the court for the Eagles, Jadarius Lowe's out there. David will stay out. Beatty as well. Hernandez and Soria. Inbound to the timeline. Tong almost caught it in the front court, then stepped back, but he just barely missed the line. Gets it to Ramos' right corner. Chucks it back deep towards the time stripe. Stop and go is Ramos, or correction, that's Ding. He tries to throw a lefty layup and gets rejected by David. His second block here in the paint. And he's putting his big size dominance down there to make sure the Mustangs know that he's not going to let anything go over his head very easily. Clock stop at 3:41 left first quarter. Hobbs up 21-10. Ramos on the left baseline corner. Soria's going to be the man to try to swat the inbound. Bounces it in back door, right block to Talk. Fumbles it as he spins. Kicks it up top to Tong. He'll back it out against Hernandez. Unloads to the left wing to Houlihan. Drives the free throw line. Lost the ball. Dumps it left block to a Talk. Fadeaway jump shot with one hand. And he gets pushed backwards by Beatty. Ball comes off the iron, but there'll be a foul on the Eagles.
And that was a nice shot. Beatty was able to block it. It's better to have him try for two instead of hit the one automatically.
That's the third foul on the Eagles. There's 2 total on Holy Cross, but that will put on the line for the first time Willie Talk.
And their first attempts at free throws in his game.
He had 20 points, a leading scorer for the Mustangs last night, and 1 of 2 from the line in that game. Makes his first free throw there. That's his 6th point as he leads the Mustangs in scoring. Eagles leader right now is 10 for Josiah Clay, 6 for Beatty, and 5 for Soria. Talk has 6 for the Mustangs, 3 for Ramos, 2 for Houlihan. One more free throw for Willie Talk. It's being looked at by New Mexico State, by the way. Misses off the left rim. It's tracked down by Hernandez, his second rebound. Outlet to the middle of the court, coming across is Sanders, who just checked in, finds Clay on the left wing, drives the rack, high-arching layup off the left glass and scores. Clay continues to go hard to the rack. He's got 12. 23-11, Eagles by 12. Shot from right, 3 on the way and good. You can't leave these guys open. Tong makes the Eagles pay. Third tray of the game for the Mustangs. 23-14 down to single digits. Clay going to the rack, another lefty layup off the back of the rim. Pulled down in the paint and pivoting is a Talk. And he'll outlet to the far right sideline. Gives it off to his guard, Ramos. He'll take on Sanders through the time stripe, beats him to the right elbow, continues down the lane with a little finger over the front of the rim, no good. High sky and rebound there for the Eagles guard, pulling it down, Jadarius Lowe, gets into the front court, David, lefty 3 is out the back of the rim, and chased down in the near left sideline for the Mustangs. His little point guard, MJ Tong. Cross court right to Ramos, going hard in their front court on the dribble to the right wing. Dumps it right corner to Houlihan. Underneath the hoop on the dribble. Kick out left wing. 3 on the way for Mao Tong at the back of the rim. And we got a rebounding foul. Hernandez was trying to block out MJ Tong that time. I think they got Hernandez on a little clear out a little bit, and they're going to get him on the foul. No correction. That's against Lowe. His first. 14th foul. 1 away from the double bonus. Subs coming in now. Checking in for the Mustangs is Con Ding, who was a starter. He's back in now. And also Peter Weinheimer. Deep inbound back to the timeline to set up the offense for the Mustangs with 2:13 left in the first. Getting the inbound, trying to drive the left side of the paint. They're getting banged into hard was Mao Tong, and it looks like Clay had a head-on collision with him there. So Clay will pick up his first. That's the 15th foul, Ron.
Exactly is, and that is something that Hobbs has always had a problem with. The last game, not so much, but this one, they already are in it in the first quarter. Hopefully they will not be having that problem again for the rest of the quarters.
So a couple of free throws here on the double bonus. First shot is up, and it is good. As putting it through the hole for the Mustangs, Mao Tong. They're now 2 of 3 from the charity stripe for 67%.
Yeah, they're getting those extra opportunities to get back into this game, and they're doing it slowly.
Getting ready for the second free throw. Is up and good, a swish. He gets both of them, does Mao Tong. He's got 5 points. They're now 3 of 4 from the charity stripe for 75%. 2:10 left here in the first. Hobbs up by 7. Their biggest lead has been 15, so Mustangs have been whittling away that deficit that they've been dealing with. Ball gets in Adrian Morris' hands. He just checked in, throws it into the front court on the right wing to Clay. Dribbling behind his back, stays near the corner, and then kicks it back deep to Lowe. Near the timeline, near sideline right. One-hand bounce passes short, trying to get it to Mora, and taken away on the steal by Tong. The third turnover for the Eagles. Gets into the front court to Ding. Spin move in the paint, fadeaway jumper, little hook action. Misses. Tip back up by Houlihan on the left block, no good. Hook shot on the rebound again underneath by a Talk. He can't get it to drop on the back of the iron, and the Eagles finally pull it down for Josiah Clay. He's going the rack to the other end. Double clutch off the left rim, no good. Long rebound for a Talk, his third. He'll send it ahead to Ding on the right baseline. He got nervous about Jadarius Lowe, stumbles his feet around and gets a travel.
Exactly. He tried to back up a little bit and forgot about the ball, and usually that's what happens when you're more concerned about the person in front of you.
1:29 remaining in the first. Eagles by 7, 23-16. Hobbs basketball. And that was Holy Cross's 5th turnover, as it'll be Eagle basketball, right baseline, right corner in the backcourt. Mora will inbound, gets it in far left to Hernandez. Gives it back to Mora, send it to the right side to Soria. He'll bring it across the timeline. Dribbling through his legs, screen from Mora to the free throw line of the dribble. Gives it back to Mora, had to save it to himself in the right corner. Back to Soria right wing. To Beatty at the time stripe. Mora's pivoting and waiting for a ball. Instead, a shot by Beatty, top of the arc. Hits off the back of the iron, no good. A Talk with his 4th rebound. He was going to use that screen, instead he shot instead. Going to the rack with it at the other end. A Talk with reverse layup right, no good. Rebound off the rim, left elbow, shooting it up and missing out the back of the iron was Ding. Eagles try to track it down as it rolls to the far left sideline as Clay will get it, and he gets shoved on a little bit there, so foul called against the Mustangs. That's Clay's 2nd rebound, and the foul against the other number 5, Ding, for the Mustangs, his first, 13th foul. 56 seconds left in the opening quarter. Again, the winner's going to play Albuquerque High, who beat Artesia earlier today. Championship tomorrow, about 4 o'clock. Bouncer to the inbound to Clay in the backcourt. Hands it off to Soria, who got kind of spun around by his defender, getting a piece of him with his tongue. Gets the handoff. Soria in the front court on the right wing. Throws it down low to David on a triple team. Ball ripped out of his hands by Ataka. Knocks it out on the right baseline. Hobbs will retain possession. We've been seeing a lot of that against teams that are shorter than the Eagles down low. 3 or 4 guys just banging on Malachi David.
Yeah, it's been the curse. Every tall kid has had that problem with those little pesky underneaths.
Clay gets the inbound right corner, dribbling through his legs. Crossover move, tries to go back to Demora, but a bad pass. Eagles 4 turnover. Stripped and taken up the far right sideline. In transition, getting bumped was Ding. They call the foul on the Eagles. So Hobbs going to pick up their 6th, already in double bonus for the Mustangs. A little bit of hip action going on there near the scores table. Call that against Mora. That's his first. And that'll put Con Ding on the line. Ding was perfect on the stripe last night, 4 for 4, had 8 points against Mayfield and nails his first free throw. He'll get one more, his first point of the ball game. Now they've had a total of 5 scorers for Holy Cross and 3 for the Hobbs Eagles, but a lot more points between those 3 guys. Second shot up and good for Ding. He's got 2, 23-18. Continuing to whittle away at the lead now, just a 5-point spread. 30 seconds left, first quarter. Coming across the timeline, Soria. Touch pass up top to David. Bounce it to Mora on the left side of the circle. One hands it over to Soria on the right side. Jab step, crossover to his left hand, returns to Mora, top of the arc. Over to Beatty on the left wing. Crossover move, goes give and go to himself, goes to the rack with a scoop on the right glass and scores on the reverse. He went through 2 defenders that time, and the quick step really starting to hurt him bad. That's the 4th bucket for Beatty in the first quarter, 8th point. They call the foul on Con Ding, 2nd in this quarter, and the 14th foul.
I love the approach. He went ahead and used some patience, tested the lane, see who bit, and then went ahead and drove the lane. Noticed it was going to be one player, went up against him, got the layup and the extra one for sure.
Beatty's shooting 64% on the free throw line, misses off the back of the rim, pulled down the left elbow for the Mustangs by Weinheimer, his first of the game. 8 seconds left in the quarter. Into the front court, a pass left wing to Talk, double team, kicks it up top, over to Weinheimer, back to a Talk in the left wing, fires up a 3, hits hard on the back of the rim. He was asking for one of his teammates to rebound, and they're having a little argument there as the shot was missed. But that'll end the first quarter. Eagles holding on to at least a 7-point lead, 25-18, up by as many as 15 in the first quarter. We'll be back in 1 minute here with the Hobbs Holiday Tournament at Tasker Arena.
Welcome back to the 66th Annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament, and Hobbs is leading right now as we get into the second quarter, 25-18, and with the call, here's Ty Friend.
Eagles will have the basketball to start the second quarter. Leader is Clay with 12, 8 for Beatty, Soria with 5. Beatty on the right wing, gets it down to David, right block, double plump, goes up and gets swatted by Atak, goes back up, hook shot off the left rim, no good. Rebound by Peter Weinheimer, his second board. Eagles are out-rebounded 9-8 in the first quarter. A long pass down to the baseline gets tipped out by Clay. It will be Mustang ball underneath their hoop.
I wouldn't say the energy for the Hobbs Eagles has been sucked away a little bit, but their results are not the same as they were at the beginning of the first quarter.
25-18, ball in the hands of Tong down the left wing. Kicks over to the right corner to Ding. Takes the dribble to the free throw line against Proby. Tries to step back. Decides not to shoot. Try to bounce it back door to Tong. Gets stripped in the paint. Soria chases it down in the left corner. That's turn number 6 for the Mustangs. Throws it ahead to Clay on the right wing. Drives the lane. Scoop shot underneath 3 defenders. Ball comes off the iron. No good. Ding with the rebound for the Mustangs in the front court. Dribbling through his legs on the right wing. Takes Proby down the lane. Throws up a shot. Gets hit hard by Beatty, who was trying to help out Proby. Proby had 2 fouls prior to that. Beatty's going to have to take the foul on that one and a chance for a 3-point play. And that'll be a bucket for Ding. He's got 4. That's Beatty's second personal and the first team foul here in the second quarter. And that'll put Ding on the line 2 for 2. Right now, in terms of free throws, they are 5 of 6 from the charity stripe are the Mustangs. 7:08 remaining here in the second, the closest they've been since the first quarter, 25-20 now. And the shot bounced around the rim, no good. Malachi David rips it down underneath. That's his first rebound. Outlet ahead to Soria on the left wing. Touch pass to Lowe in the left corner. Hippity hop, kick it over to David right wing. Up top to Beatty, drives the paint, scoop on the right glass and scores through 2 defenders. Beatty's not scared a bit to go on the paint to the rack. He's got 10. Second leading scorer behind Clay's 12. 27-20, Eagles by 7. Steal at half court by Beatty, comes down the left lane. Kicks out to the right wing. Shot for Soria, fadeaway 3, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is a Talk. That's his 5th rebound. He'll dribble up the far right sideline, taking on Proby in the front court. Kicks it up top to Tong, who has to jump for it, and Low right out on him defensively. A screen from Weinheimer, shot from the left wing off the front of the rim by Tong, no good. Rebound by Beatty, his second. Throws it and then gets it back from David now in the front court of the left wing. David will come give him a screen. Up top to Soria, 3 on the way, wide open and right through the net. First 3 of the game for the Hobbs Eagles, 8 points for Lyric Soria.
Soria does it again with the 3.
10-point lead for the Eagles, back in double digits. A long pass to a Talk left corner, gets his 3-point shot rejected by Soria. Ball gets knocked out to the Hobbs Eagles student section on the near sideline, and it's going to go off of a Talk, and he is frustrated, yelling at his teammates after he was the one that shot the ball.
Well, either way, you got to be frustrated with the fact that he was blocked in the first place, and then it went out of bounds. Didn't seem to be a whole lot of help from the Mustangs.
8 turnovers for Holy Cross. Hobbs up by 10.
Up and try again.
I think the official said the clock wasn't run down enough. It looks like he's putting 3 fingers up in the air, stop the game. So they're going to take 3 seconds off. I believe that's what he was talking about. It wasn't a 3-point shot because it didn't go in. It got rejected by Soria. Inbound to Lyric in the backcourt as he brings it across the timeline. Bounce pass to Beatty on the left wing, guarded by a Talk. Stop and go to the left corner. Pivoting 180 against him, returns it back to Soria, far left sideline. Near the scores table, again to Beatty, left wing. Crossover move, goes baseline, kicks it to David, left wing, fakes a 3, hands it back to Beatty behind him in the left. Up top to Proby. Proby with his right hand with the dribble, hand off to Soria. NBA 3 from the right wing off the back of the rim. Ripping it down in the left block is Houlihan, his second board. He gets swung at from behind. Eagles trying to strip it away from him. They call the foul.
It should be against Proby.
No, I'm going to call Lowe instead, I guess. Second on him, second team foul. Did not want it against Proby. That would have been his 3rd.
Yes, that's true.
Inbound to the left block in the backcourt. Getting shoved is Ramos trying to come back to the ball on the baseline. The shove being applied by Proby, who just said that a minute ago, Ron, and that's his 3rd, unfortunately. Already the 3rd team foul, 3-0 foul count at this point, not helping out the Hobbs Eagles' cause.
No, they're a bit aggressive. They always are, and sometimes that does cost them with fouls.
Javen Hernandez checks in for Hobbs. Bouncer into the left corner to Ramos. Double team for him. Ball gets knocked away by Soria. It's loose on the court. Get down on it as a Talk. Lost the ball in the lane, and there's Mr. Beatty to lay it off the left side. He's got 12 points now. The 9th turnover. Another deflection on the pass up court as Beatty strips it away for the 10th turnover. And over to David on the left wing. Eagles by 12. David tries to drive left lane, gets tripped and falls face forward to the court. Trying to go through 2 defenders, little gap between them that time. They're going to say he got clipped, and they're going to call that foul on Ding. That would be the first team foul for the Mustangs. Well, they say Ding, but I don't see, he's not up on the scoreboard. That's his 3rd.
Checking in for the Mustangs, number 4,
On the left baseline is Soria. Checks it back deep to Beatty to the scores table far left. Clock to 5 minutes remaining in the second. Eagles by 12. Dribbles left, hands it off to Soria. Coming up top to get it is Low on the handoff, and then to Beatty. Beatty gets the screen up top from David. Thought about a three, decided against it. Uses up his dribble. Kicks it left to low. NBA three on the way. It's an air ball. Saved by Soria on the right baseline. Call that a rebound, his first. Up top to David. Back to Soria on the right wing. Drives the rack quickly and beats three defenders in the rack. Lays it in for two with a nice finger roll right side. He's got 10. 34-20, almost a steal on the left sideline. Trying to save it as a talk. It's flipped into the front court. Picked up on the left side by Houlihan. Kick it right, three on the way for Ding, and Ding nails it. He's got 7 points, and that's going to be the fourth tray for the Mustangs, who still trail by 11 to the Eagles. 4:25 remaining in the second. David gets the ball up top, over to Soria left wing, fakes an NBA three, dribbles through his legs, step back tray on the way, bounce around the rim, and good. Soria gets it to drop. He's got 2 trays here in the second quarter and 13 points. 37-23, Eagles by 14. Across the timeline, a pass to Ding, top of the arc. Going down the paint, lost the ball at the free throw line, turns and shoots the J off the front of the rim. Rebound by Malachi David, his second board. Hands it off behind and below. He'll dribble up to the front court. Slows it down on the Hobbs Eagle logo. Kick it back to David right wing. He's going to spot up a three. Hard shot at the left iron, no good. In transition is Ding with the rebound. Throws it ahead down the lane to Houlihan, bobbles it. David steals. Turner number 11 finds Beatty in the front court. Left wing, fadeaway three at the back of the rim, no good. Rebound by Willie Atalk on the left block, his 6th rebound. He'll dribble into the front court. Fires up an NBA three, top of the arc, no good off the front of the iron. And rebound by Jadarius Lowe for his second board. Can you take over for just a second, Ron? I'm losing my voice.
I got you. I understand why, too. This has been back and forth action, and Hobbs is taking care of it. 37-23, 3:30 to go. And they're about to inbound, but it looks like we're going to no, they're just having a transition of players. Got some substitutions coming in as Hobbs comes back strong. It is Soria with the ball as he crosses the timeline. Beatty looks like he's going to get set up. He did.
Gets the pass from the left wing. Down low to David. Reverse layup right. Misses. Goes back up. Gets swatted the second time. And then we got a ball loose. We got bodies on the floor. Hernandez dove on the floor, and getting a piece of it too was Isaac Ramos for the Mustangs. They're going to say Hernandez had possession and traveled. It looked like the ball was still loose. So unfortunately, that's going to be counted as a turnover, his fifth, or the team's 5th. Hobbs still with a 14-point lead, though, with 3:17 left first half. They tried to get the ball in the bouncer right corner to Atalk, and it looks like somebody kicked the ball out of bounds there for the violation. Looked like possibly Low on that one.
It was, yes, it was Low.
Clay will check in for Low. I guess Coach Ross is going to say, hey, man, this is basketball, not soccer.
Exactly. Well, you know how they do sometimes when they go up, they kick their legs out too.
Ball gets thrown down deep to Ding. Throws it to the left wing. Ramos going to drive with his little scoop action to the left rack and scores off the layup. Ramos with 5. Good quick step there for Ramos. And Coach Ross wants to call the timeout. Does not want this lead to get anywhere close to less than 10 points. Right now it's at 12. 37-25 with 3:04 remaining. Ron, we got some great sponsors of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament this year on the radio and the internet.
And as always, we'd like to thank every one of them, including Eastern New Mexico University, TDS, Lasco Construction, Badger, First American Bank of Hobbs, Master Plumbers, NMR Pipeline, Divine Energy Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Express, SunGuard Precision, Southwest Siding Windows and Doors, DNC Electric, Bel Air Bowl, Lee County State Bank, and Forest Tire. Thank you very much for all your support, you guys. Without you, we would not be able to put these on the air, on the internet, as well as on the radio.
As we mentioned earlier, the Hobbs Eagles, if they can win this game, which looks pretty good so far, will play in the championship tomorrow, and that will be against Albuquerque High. In fact, the Bulldogs, this is their first year at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament and a chance to be in that championship the first time they're here.
Exactly, and that's going to be interesting to see. You know, we talk about the fact that the Metro is next week. Well, we've got an Albuquerque team that we could be facing if they if Hobbs continues to play against these Mustangs the way they are, and it should be interesting to see. It may be a precursor to the Albuquerque tournament.
Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles will be in there as well. A force to be reckoned with. They got a big win tonight against El Paso Eastwood, so they are 2-0. And we'll have the both games here on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube, and the Hobbs boys game on Cool 95.7 on the radio. Eagle basketball after their timeout. Beatty has it in the front court, right wing. Uses up his dribble. Good pressure by MJ Tong. Pass to Clay left wing. Down to the left corner. Soria goes baseline. Spins out of the defender and heads back to the left wing. To Clay on the far left sideline. Jump stop. Two defenders go up in the air. He throws up a shot, bounces out the back of the rim, chases it down himself on the right baseline, but they're going to say he stepped on the line. So he did have possession for the rebound. They're going to call that a turnover as well because after he did that, he didn't step on the line. So 3 boards for Clay, 6 turnover for the Eagles, who lead by 12. 2:37 left in the half. Inbound left corner to Talk. Bounce pass across the court from left to right. Kind of gets ping-ponged around as Con Ding tries to come up with it, but it's knocked out by the Eagles. So the Mustangs will retain possession on the far right sideline of the backcourt. They'll bounce it into MJ Tong. He'll go one-on-one against Soria. Into the front court, unloads a pass to the left wing to Tong, fires a 3 and swishes it. These kids can shoot the trays. 2 for Tong. He's got 8 points, 37-28, back to a single-digit lead of 9 for the Eagles. Beatty in the front corner of the right wing, up top to Clay. Clay swings it back to Beatty to the right corner to Soria. Again to Beatty right side. Dribbles up top, jumps, throws it to Hernandez at the right elbow, turns and fires the J off the front of the rim. Eagles not getting a lot of offensive rebounds, and waiting underneath the hoop for the rebound for the Mustangs is Oscar Vasquez. Dribbles into the front court, comes down the lane, reverse layup left side, misses everything, and pulled down by Malachi David for his 4th rebound with 1:48 remaining. David will dribble up top, throws up a 3 out the front of the rim, ripped down hard by Willie Atok, his 7th rebound for the Mustangs. Throws it ahead to Tong, right corner, throws up a 3, an air ball. Ball's going to get knocked down in the left corner of the baseline. And it looks like it went off the hands of Ramos last for Hobbs Eagles basketball. So this Mustang team likes starting to shoot these 3-pointers, being pretty effective so far.
Exactly. They're picking and choosing and getting some great shots against this Hobbs team who are not always putting a hand up. And when they do, though, it doesn't make much of a difference.
5 trays in the game for the Mustangs, but still trail by 9. Beatty gets a pass in the front court on the right wing. Touch it to Hernandez in the right corner. Returns to Beatty, same side. Cross court left, a football throw to Soria. NBA 3 almost at the sideline. Hits off the back of the rim. Saved, though, on the baseline by Beatty, his 3rd rebound. Hernandez gets it on the right block, tries to shoot. And looks like maybe getting a piece of it to the Mustangs. Ball goes out on the baseline. Actually, I think it might have hit the side of the backboard, too, but they're going to say it was all because of Hernandez, not the Mustangs. So it'll be just a missed shot, goes out, and it'll be Holy Cross basketball. They trail by 9 with 1:14 remaining. Eagles with full court pressure. Clay gets a piece of the inbound, but they said the timeout was called right before the deflection. Would have been probably another turnover to the Eagles. But we're going to take a break as well. 1:14 left, second quarter. Hobbs leading Holy Cross 37-28 in the semifinals of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. Back with you in 30 seconds on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube.
Welcome back as we're on the 66th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament, and Hobbs up by 9, 37-28 with 1:14 to go in the first half. And Hobbs looking to see what they can do for that time. In the meantime, we've got our friend, Ty Friend, with the call.
Mustang basketball. Eagles going to play some half-court defense now with 1:12 remaining before the half. In the hands of MJ Tong. One-hand bounce pass, but he stumbled ahead as he started to get ready to throw, then stepped forward and then tried to still throw against Clay to the top of the arc, and they called it travel. So Holy Cross has racked up 12 turnovers. We just saw that last night with El Paso Parkland, 23 total. That does not help your cause in front of a staunch Hobbs Eagle crowd here at Tasker Arena.
Every time you get a turnover, that just diminishes your play.
Beatty gets it down to Hernandez in the right corner. Back to Beatty near side. Takes it to his left hand, crossover move to the right elbow, goes down the lane, backdoor pass to Mora, but they call the foul on the drive with Beatty taking on a couple defenders. Little hold foul there. They'll call that against MJ Tong. That's his first. That'll be the 3rd team foul. Both teams have 3 right now with 53.8 remaining here in the second. Beatty will inbound from the right baseline, leading by 9. Biggest lead was 15 in the first. Up top to Mora. We're going to size it up a little bit, backs it out, gives it back to Beatty on the right wing. Up top, one-hand pass over to Clay on the left wing. Double team, throws up an errant shot at the middle of the rim, no good. Pulled down for the Eagles by Lowe. Kicks it back to left side, and Clay nails a 15-footer.
Actually, that was Mora.
Oh, excuse me, Mora with the bucket there. 39-28, 11-point game. Going to the rack at the other end. Ramos missing the righty layup. Pulled down by Hernandez for the Eagles, his third board. Up ahead to Beatty, left wing. Alley-oop backdoor to Mora. Lost it in the air. It's taken away by Houlihan. Eagles 7 turnover. Bad pass to the far sideline left. Taken away by Clay. That's turnover number 13. He throws up an 18-footer and nails it just inside the three-point line on the left side. Clay now at 14 points. 41-28, Eagles by 13. Going to the rack to the other end, leading to the hoop is Tong. Lost it. Put back up by Houlihan on the right block, his third rebound. Can't get it to drop, and that will end the second quarter of this track meet here at Task Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles extended the lead back up to 13, 41-28 over Holy Cross here at the half. It's the semifinals of the 66th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament at Task Arena. We'll be back in 3 minutes with all the numbers. Welcome back to Task Arena. The Hobbs High cheerleaders in the middle of the court right now as your Eagles lead 41-28 over Holy Cross. The semifinal round of the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 66th annual. And the Eagles had the biggest lead of 15 in the first half. It's got whittled down to 13, but went down as low as 5 at one point, though.
Exactly. It looked like that, just a chip away is what the Mustangs were doing. They were actually becoming like Mustangs, running just as fast as Mustangs can, and were able to get back slowly with the free throws. That helped a lot. In fact, they've had 5 of 7 so far in this game. Not too bad. And Hobbs, on the other hand, 3 of 4. So they haven't really had a whole lot of opportunities to get to the line. as much as the Mustangs have, but both sides have been taking opportunities and making them when on the line.
In terms of the scoring in this first half for the Mustangs, nobody in double digits yet, but getting close. Mao Tong, he's got 8 points, 2 trays out of the 5 they've converted, and 2 for 2 on the line. 1 rebound for Tong. 7 points for Con Ding. He had a tray, went 2 of 3 from the charity stripe and 3 rebounds. 5 for Isaac Ramos. He had a tray in the game as well. 6 for Willie Atak. Now all of his 6 coming in the first quarter. He was 1 of 2 from the line and had 7 rebounds. He was a leading rebounder for the Mustangs. And one of their scorer, Paul Houlihan, with the bucket for 2 and 3 boards. They've had 5 scores in the first half. You mentioned the free throws, 5 of 7 for 71%. And they've had 5 3-pointers. It was kind of surprising. They only had 1 tray converted against Mayfield in their win yesterday to get into this semifinal game. They barely are leading in the rebounding, too, 18-17 over the Eagles. That's thanks to those 7 boards by Willie Atak. Their big problem, Ron, 13 turnovers in the first half.
Exactly, and Hobbs has been able to pretty much control, at least for the most part, the rhythm of the game and the ball as well. So expect to see that in the second half. Of course, the Turners know about this. They worked it when they were here in the 2000s, but definitely want to see how they're going to react to that. Maybe try to force it down the court like most players do or most teams do. Try to get those beyond the press and see what they can do on the front court.
In case you just joined us, the Turners we're talking about, Austin Turner and Tyler Turner, former Hobbs Eagle players. They are the coaching staff of this Holy Cross Mustangs team. First year for Austin Turner as the head coach, a 9-5 record at this point, pinning this game. Hobbs trying to make it 9-6 so they get this win, as it looks like they're doing pretty well at it right now. Hobbs has got 3 in double digits. Josiah Clay with 14 points. Boy, what a great first quarter for Clay. He had 12 of the 14 in the first and had 2 for 2 free throw shooting and 3 rebounds, so he's definitely coming out strong.
Yeah, and the fun thing about the Hobbs Eagles is you never know who's going to step it up. We saw David do a little bit of job as far as stepping up his game. Of course, we've seen Beatty. He is streaking up and down the court, making sure he gets those fast break points as well as getting some steals. He's had 3 of them so far in this game. He also had Soria, who's getting a couple of dimes when he hits those trays. And all the others, Mora, Lowe, he is doing some good stuff as well on the defense. So you got defensive stuff, offensive stuff, and the whole thing altogether is just teamwork, teamwork, teamwork.
Other scores in the first half, Lyric Soria, you mentioned him, 13 points. He has the 2 trays for the Eagles. That's all they've converted so far. Haven't shot a lot of them anyway. Braddock Beatty has 12 points. He has 3 rebounds as well. 8 of those points in the first quarter. And those are the 3 in double digits. Clay 14, Soria 13, Beatty 12. A combined 39 of the total 41 points in this game. So 3 of those big-time scorers in double digits. You mentioned Adrian Mora. He had a bucket for 2 points. Jadarius Lowe hasn't scored yet, but he does have 3 rebounds for the Eagles. And Malachi David surprisingly hasn't scored, but he's got some battling going on there with that big kid Atak, but he does have 4 rebounds up to this point. Hobbs 1 shy of the rebound numbers for Holy Cross, 17 versus 18. But the Eagles had only 7 turnovers compared to 13 for the Mustangs. Hobbs shooting 3 of 4 from the charity stripe for 75%. And the numbers of the quarters, Ron, you have there first and second.
Absolutely are. Hobbs, of course, was leading that way, and they were doing that the 25-18 for the first quarter. Second quarter had it 16-10, and that's how we get our 41-28 lead for the Hobbs Eagles.
13-point lead at the half. Semifinals, the Hobbs Holiday Tournament continues here at Task Arena. We will take another 2-minute break and get you ready for the action live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to Hobbs Holiday Tournament, the 66th annual on Cool 95.7 and on the app for Cool 95.7, along with the streaming services that we provide. Thank you again for the sponsors, and we're about to start the second quarter. 41-28 is the score. Eagles up by 13. With the call here is Ty Friend.
Holy Cross will have the ball to start this third quarter, down by 13. The inbound of the backcourt to Con Ding as he'll take on Beatty at the time stripe. Crossover move, far left sideline. And coming up possibly was Clay. He decided to pull back at the last second for the double team. Using up the dribble, though, on the right wing is Ding. Returns to the timeline to a talk. Again, guarded by Beatty. One-hand pass to the right corner. Saving it to himself is Tong. He'll dribble on the right wing. Back deep towards the base, or towards the mid-stripe now. And Beatty will pick him up, too. Dribbles around the left circle. Triple team against him. Tries to throw it down low. Chasing it down in the left corner is Weinheimer. He gets double teamed by Soria and Clay. Pick off on the pass up the sideline by Soria. Sends it ahead to Beatty. Reverse layup right and scores. What a beautiful pass. Transition style there from Soria. And Beatty now with 14 points. That'll be the 14th turnover for the Mustangs.
Steal for Soria as well as an assist.
43-28. 15-point lead. Dribbling to the left wing is Tong. Bounce pass taken away again by Clay. Another turnover, 15. Up again to Beatty. Deja vu. 16 points for Beatty. He was fouled going up, and you can see the Mustangs starting to put their heads down a little bit. They can feel the pressure mounting.
Yeah, they're just one step behind the Eagles trying to catch up, and when they do, of course, that's when you foul.
They got Tong on the call there, and that will be his second. Or correction, Akana Talk will be his first team foul. As Beatty's free throw is bounced around the rim and falls off the front. We got a whistle late, though. I think we had a lane violation. We'll say Beatty will get a chance for a second free throw as the official blew his whistle to stop the action.
Yeah, that'll save him for being 0-2 on the line so far in this game.
He is 16 points, leading the Eagles, 14 for Clay, 13 for Soria.
And he's 9 of 14 on the line this season.
Free throw up and good. Beatty's got 17. 45-28, Eagles by 17, which is their, or 18, I should say, their biggest lead of the ball game. It'll be Mustang basketball on the left baseline. They get a sub in. Checking in is Isaac Ramos. The Eagles matching up everybody in the full court press look. Very tenacious on defense. High inbound left corner to Talk, jumps in the air, sails it down the left sideline and up near the scores table. Ramos might have touched the line with his foot. I believe he stepped out of bounds, so they're going to call that a turnover, and that'll be the Eagles starting to really turn the screws on this Mustang team. That is 16 turnovers, 2 of those coming in the last minute or so.
Yeah, 2 Mustangs could not handle the ball. It was a kick on that one, and it would have been out of bounds either way. Back to Hobbs.
Inbound to Clay, back to Soria at the time stripe. Eagles by 18. To David on the right wing. Bounce it back door to Beatty, but overthrows him to the baseline, middle of the paint. Kind of let him way too much on that one, and that is the 8th turnover for the Eagles. But they've been averaging 17 last night at 9 against Parkland. Still in the single digits tonight. Hopefully keep it that way and continue to add to this lead.
Exactly, and unfortunately that was a little low. Nothing to say about Jadarius.
Talk got the inbound to the right corner, throws it ahead to a breaking Tong, comes down the lane to the free throw line. Actually, that is Ding, fadeaway jumper. The Eagles step back a second. He made him pay. Right through the net for Con Ding from the free throw line. He's got 9. 46-30, Eagles by 16. In the front court, Clay, stop and go, crossover left wing. Gives it to Proby left corner, drives baseline, reverse layup underneath the hoop from left to right and scores. Proby gets himself in the scorebook. It's now 48-30. Beat the pressure, the dribble for a Talk. Got it stripped to the timeline by Clay. He's going to the rack, tried to dunk and gets hammered as he goes up. That's going to be the 17th turnover for the Mustangs. And now a chance for 2 free throws. Clay kind of slowed down a little bit like he's trying to get ready to leap and dunk, and then the defender came over the top of it.
Yeah, that may be unfortunate, but he does get 2 for his efforts and also has 5 steals so far in this game, 2 in the second half.
That's also the 4th foul on Con Ding, trying to stop the dunk. 2nd team foul, make it 3 team fouls. As it'll be on the line, as you mentioned, Clay, 2 for 2. Shots up, off the back of the rim and off the left as well, and comes off. His first miss of the ball game. Eagles were 3 of 4 at the half. 75%.
Clay had 9 misses for his free throws, 24-35 so far before this game.
Houlihan checks in for Holy Cross. Second shot for Clay is up and good. He's got 15 now. Second leading scorer for the Eagles. 49-30, biggest lead of the game. Inbound to the near sideline, dribbling hard across his tongue. Gives it off to the left wing. Ding gonna shoot up a three. Hits the back of the rim and then hits up on the strap behind the backboard, out of bounds. No chance for a rebound on the whistle there. Hobbs will get it back for the full court press breaker.
And a turnover for the Mustangs.
Inbound to David on the far right sideline near the scores table. Chucks it back deep to Beatty. He'll cross the timeline with another pass to David on the give and go. He drives the lane with a head fake, reverse layup, left side of the glass, and scores over the top of his head. David with his first bucket of the ball game. 51-30, the biggest lead to 21 now. Talk has it up the far left sideline, throws it ahead to Ding. He drives the lane, backs into his defender Beatty. Flicks it back up top to Ramos. Crossing it through his legs near the timeline. Kick it left wing. Three on the way for Tong off the back of the rim. Ball loose. Diving on the floor as Clay gets tripped and falls forward. It goes out of bounds.
I don't think anybody really had possession of it. He tried to throw it forward like a pass, but it went out of bounds.
Looked like he completely just threw it himself out of bounds there. He got tripped. His legs got swept up underneath him, and he went face forward, but thought they were going to give it over to the Mustangs, but they're going to say it is Hobbs basketball. So David will get the inbound. Beatty will stay out there, Proby, Clay, and Soria. David has been told to leave the game, and I think maybe he has blood or something. They usually give you about 20 seconds now with the new rule to clean it up. It's the only thing I can think of. And actually, Hernandez will check in for him, so maybe it's more than just blood. You do have to get that off your uniform before you can check back in. He is going to the locker room. It didn't look like he was injured because it looked like the refs sent him off. So I would think it would be the blood thing. Soria gets the inbound right corner of the backcourt. Throws it ahead to Hernandez, far right sideline. To Beatty in the right wing. Crossover move, goes baseline. Head fake, leads and shoots. Shot put, stop off the right glass and scores. 5 inches away from the rim. And Beatty definitely is continuing to put up the points. He's got 19 to lead the Eagles, up by 23, their biggest lead. Going to the other end. Layup attempt for Ramos, rejected by Hernandez. Got up straight in the air. Did they call the foul on that? Yep, they said he came down on it. So that'll be Jabin's foul on his first of the game, and will be the first team foul here in the third quarter. He got their original block, Ron, and this seemed like he came back a little bit down on top.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's one of the reasons why you don't want to leave your feet, because when you come back down, there's almost always a good opportunity for having a foul against you.
A couple of bounces on the rim for Ramos on his first free throw. He's got 6 points. And now it's a Holy Cross, 6 of 8 from the charity stripe for 75%. Second shot is bouncing around, no good. And just momentarily underneath the net to try to get a hand on it was Con Ding, but it was knocked out of his hands from behind by Soria, saving the rebound or a chance to put it back up. But it will be Mustang ball on the left baseline. Inbounding will be Ramos. 53-31, Eagles by 22 with 4:58 left second. Throw it in the middle of the paint. Hook shot missed. Put back up by Attack and another hook shot. He can't get it to drop. Goes up again and scores. So Attack getting a couple of rebounds there. He's got 8 points. And score now 53-33, a 20-point lead. Soria fakes a pass coming down the lane. Goes to reverse layup right side with a scoop and scores. Soria now with 15. 22-point lead. Soria gets a steal on the far right sideline and throws it down low. Shot by Hernandez underneath, misses the right rim. Put back up on the left block by Clay. He misses off the left iron, and a long rebound coming up with it was Tong. Sends it ahead to the left corner, and Ramos bobbles it, and it gets knocked out. Beatty might have got a hand on it momentarily, and it will be Holy Cross ball in their front court on that far left corner of the sideline there.
Soria tried to chase it down before it went out of bounds. Just was not quick enough. It really got close. 22-point
lead for the Eagles, 4:20 left third quarter. Inbounding left corner, Ramos, front court. Down to the left block to Talk, turn and fire up a hook shot, air ball. Underneath the hoop is Clay for his 5th rebound. Takes the dribble himself up the far right sideline. Near the scores table now on the front court. Doing behind his back, step back 3 on the right wing and off the back of the iron. Pulled down on the right block by Attack. That's his 10th rebound. He's a bucket away from a double-double. Pass down the lane to Ding. Spin move. Fade away from the right block. No good. Pulled down by Clay in transition. That's Clay's 6th rebound. He goes to the rack, and he does a little tuck into his bicep and rolls it off his fingertips for the score. Clay now with 17. 57-33. Eagles by 24, their biggest lead. Into the front court of the right wing is Ding, and he throws it back deep to Ramos. Top of the circle against Clay. Unloads to Houlihan on the left wing. Tries to bounce pass it low. David tries to chase it and gets a piece of it. Goes out towards the far left sideline. Couldn't track it down. It'll be knocked out by him and the Eagles. 3:30 left third quarter, 57-33.
Substitutions coming in for both sides.
And that'll be Justice French. I believe that's his first action in this ball game, checking in for Hobbs.
And a good note that David Malachi is out there. Malachi David is out there once again.
Also, Jadarius Lowe has checked in. The inbound left block to a talk, kicks it to the right elbow. Big jumper on the way, missing at the back of the rim. Weidheimer put back up with a push shot there for a talk. Couldn't get it to drop. And Malachi David rips it down underneath, his 5th rebound. Outlet ahead to Clay. Cradles, tries to shoot as he lunges towards the hoop, middle of the paint. And he gets hammered. He had 3 defenders clamming on top of him that time. He'll get a chance for free throws. He got side of his head hit, according to the official on that one with the signal at the table. They're going to get that one against Ramos, his first 14th foul. And on the line is Josiah Clay. He is 3 for 4 for 75%.
I love the fact that Clay is attacking the board, being able to get those fouls as well as getting a couple of them drop in like that one did just a moment ago.
2 for 3 here in the third quarter he is. 18 points overall. The leader right now, 19 for Beatty, 15 for Soria. And one more opportunity here for Clay to make it 19 to tie his Beatty teammate.
So 3 in double figures so far for Hobbs.
25-point lead, the biggest of the game. Could be 26 here, and Clay misses off the front of the rim, no good on the second shot. Pulled down in transition by Atak, his 12th rebound. Bounces front court to Ramos on the right wing. Bounce it back to the timeline off the dribble. Clay will stay with him with 3 minutes left in the third. Crossover move to the right elbow. Lost the ball, but gets it back. Flicks it out to the right wing to Tong. Dribble down the free throw line. Hook shot from the left baseline off the dribble. Misses. Rebound pulled down by David. He'll send it ahead. Going to the hoop as Beatty on the double clutch is fouled. Gets it off the right glass and scores. And a chance for a three-point play, and getting a little bit heated there was Isaac Ramos. Didn't think he fouled him. That's his second 15th foul, which means double bonus. The remaining 2:48 of this third quarter. And Beatty will step up. He has got 21 points already.
Yeah, and Beatty also has 2 fast break points at least that I've seen, and he's doing well. 1 or 2 from the line, though. He's wanting to improve that to be 3 of 4.
So we get the one free throw here to make it and 1, and this is a swisher for him. He's got 10 points here in the third quarter. Eagles up by 28, their biggest lead of the game. Into the front court is a talk. Gives it out to the right wing to Ramos. Backs it out against French. Trying to get some rotation on the offense. Touch pass to Ding on the right side arc. Kicks it down right corner. Ramos wide open for a 3 out the back of the rim. Rebound at the free throw line by Lowe, his 4th. Gives it out to Beatty on the near left side. Into the front court off the dribble. Crossover. Comes down the lane. Hippity hop. The ball is stripped. Gets it back though. Kicks out to David on the left wing for a tray. Wide open and nails it. Malachi David has the 3rd tray of the game for the Eagles. 5 points all for him in the third quarter. 64-33. We are 4 points away from the mercy roll. 31 right now is the lead. In the front court, Ramos over to the right wing to Ding. He'll hold on to it. Takes a lefty dribble, gets bumped into by Beatty, no call. Turns and goes with a scoop shot down the lane, missed off the back of the rim. Pulled down by Malachi David, his 7th board. Goes it and gets it back from his teammate on the right wing. Drives the lane, high arching layup and scores. Took it to the rack hard. David, back-to-back buckets. He's got 7 here in the third quarter. Hobbs up by 33, 1 bucket away from mercy roll.
Yeah, and Hobbs scoring well above their average in the third quarter.
Into the front court, dribbling through his legs is Ding, taken on by Lowe. To the right wing, shoves off a Lowe, no call. Give it off right corner to a top. Justice French putting a hand in his face, going baseline, a talk underneath the hoop. Scoop pass left corner, 3 on the way for Ding. In and out, no good. French with the rebound on the right block. That's his first board. Outlet to David, far right sideline, throws it back deep to Beatty to bring it up slowly for the Eagles. 1:08 left, third quarter. Eagles by 33. Top of the arc against a 1-2-2 zone now for the Mustangs. Dribbles to the right, hands it off to Sanders. Top of the arc, flicks it back to Lowe. Lowe to Beatty, top of the circle. Stop and go, throws up a 3, left wing, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound on the left block, pulled down by Con Ding, his 4th. Dribbles the middle of the court to the top of the arc, stop and go, hippity hop. Double team against him. David and Sanders crash on top of him as he tries to lunge to the hoop. Little head fake, got him up in the air. And a foul called. Think this will be a shooting foul. So charge that to the Eagles. They're 2nd here in the third quarter.
Substitution for Beatty coming in a moment as he leaves the court.
Jalen Sanders is the one called with the foul. So that'll put on the line Ding. He is 2 for 3, 66%. As he makes the free throw, he's got 10 points now.
Hendrick Sullivan coming in for the Eagles.
First action for Sullivan tonight. He's averaging 2.7 points a game, 7th game of the season, and has 4 3-pointers to his name as well. One of the seniors for Hobbs. Second free throw attempt for Ding is good. He's got 11. 66-35, back to a 31 lead. Into the front court. Coming across the timeline is Lowe with the dribble. Puts on the brakes, looking for some help. Nobody coming to help him, but finally at the half court is Sullivan to get it. Gives back to Lowe on the right wing, returns to Sullivan. Kick it down to the left wing to Mora. To Sullivan in front of the Taskovich band left sideline. Back deep
Just looking for
to Sullivan. Yep, they're just trying to get the defense to move around. Now it's switched to a 2-3 zone. Left wing to Sullivan. He'll fire up a 3 off the left rim. It gets knocked out. A save made, though, and it's a save but to Sullivan. And kind of a flick from behind in that left corner. Good job from Mora. He took off and got that ball back in his grasp and threw it back to Sullivan,
who was double teamed and tried to get the ball, but he was on the floor at that time, so it is a jump ball.
Hobbs will retain possession on that one, and big crash in front of the student section. They have to untangle that mess a little bit, but good job of saving there for the Eagles, who lead by 31. 2.2 remaining in the third. Inbound top of the arc to Lowe. One-hand bounce pass right wing to Mora. Mora kicks it back to Sullivan with 1 second to shoot up a 3 at the buzzer and just barely hits the bottom of the net. Unfortunately, not through the cylinder first. 66-35. Eagles by 31 at the end of 3 here in the semifinals of the 66th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament. We'll return in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to the 66th annual Hobbs Holiday Tournament all around the world and on the radio as well. 66-35 is the score as we get into the fourth quarter. Of course, Hobbs Eagles in the lead. And with the call here is Ty Friend.
Holy Cross has one double-figure score. Con Ding with 11 points. He does have a tray to his name. 8 for Atak and 6 for Ramos. Also Mao Tong with 8. Your Hobbs Eagle leading scorer, Beatty with 22. 15 for Soria and 18 for Josiah Clay. It is Mustang basketball. There's a foul call. The pass to the right wing. Eagles get a little bit too tenacious. That'll be their first foul of the fourth quarter. They call that on Sanders. That'll be his second. Give it back to Holy Cross on the near sideline. Hobbs coming in at a 9-1 record, and the Holy Cross squad at 9-5. Inbound to the timeline to Ding. Crossover through his legs, trying to get the defender out on him, and that is Sullivan to the left wing on the dribble. Coming back to get it top of the arc is Atak. Give it right back to Ding on the right side. Drives to the lane, spins in the middle of the paint, turns and fires up a little hook and scores over the front of the rim. Con Ding now with 13 points to lead his Mustangs, 66-37. Pass to the timeline to Mora. He'll bring it across, unloads it to Sanders. Up top to Lowe, kick it right wing. Driving is Sullivan, fell to the floor, and he got somersaulted and picked up at the top of the arc by Tong. That was a nice turnover. He goes on the reverse layup right side and lays it off the glass for 2. Tong now with 10 points in double digits. And the Eagles up 66-39. Into the front court, a pass to Mora coming down the lane. Reverse layup right side off the rim. They're going to call the foul on the drive, I believe. He'll get hopefully a chance for free throws. I'm not sure they're going to say he was in his shooting motion or not. Got knocked to the floor pretty hard. They call that one, I believe, against Ding. And if that is him, that'll be his 5th.
And it is a shooting foul. He's going on the line to shoot 2 for Mora.
So Con Ding has just fouled out for the Mustangs. His 13 points that he had in this game. He also had a total of 5 free throw attempts. 4 of those converted for 80% and 4 rebounds. So he was a big contributor and was the top scorer up to this point, but he's already out with the 5th foul. And a whole 7:06 remaining in this fourth quarter. Hobbs up 66-39.
Yeah, that is not going to bode well for the Mustangs at this point.
First free throw is up and good for the Eagles. Mora, that's his third point of the game, came in. That was his first free throw of the season with that shot he just had there.
Amazing. But, yeah, made it. First one down, one to go.
Eagles 8 of 10 now, 80% from the charity stripe. And a great couple of nights of free throws. As I say that, he misses out the back of the rim. Big crash for the rebound. It goes off the hands of a talk on the left block out of bounds. So Hobbs will get the possession back to try to add on to the 28-point lead. The biggest lead has been 33 here in the second half, just one bucket away from the mercy rule. Subs checking in as well for Hobbs. Hernandez will be back on the court, and so is Lowe. Inbound left wing. Sanders going to fire a three off the left rim, and it rolls out of bounds in the corner and out on the baseline and back to Holy Cross.
Nice attempt. Just nobody able to get that rebound as it bounced so high.
Inbound to the baseline, dribbling hard up the far left sideline is Tong. Stop and go. Guarded by Sanders down the front court. Sends it off top of the circle to a Talk. Dribbling through his legs. Just kind of waiting with the crossover top of the circle. Slings it down to the right corner, faking a three. Tong goes baseline, windmill layup on the right side, and Hernandez bites on it and kind of swats down on top of him. Didn't make the bucket, but there is a foul on Hernandez, his second. Second team foul against the Eagles. So 2 free throws coming for MJ Tong. They are 8 of 11 from the charity stripe, so similar numbers on the free throw line in this game, and up and good.
Yeah, that was a nice basketball move. Wasn't able to make it in, but is able to get the first of 2 on the free throws.
75% so far for the Mustangs. They're still down, though, by 27 points. Second shot is off the front of the rim, no good. At the free throw line to pull it down for the Eagles, Jadarius Lowe. He's got 5 boards. Sends it ahead to Sanders. Dribbles to the right baseline. Lost the ball. Stripped by Tong. Turnover number 10 for Hobbs. Tong up the far left sideline. He bobbles as he comes into the front court and dribbles it out of bounds for the turnover for the Mustangs. You got to take advantage of those opportunities against the Eagles. That is the 14th, or make it the 19th turnover for Holy Cross. Lowe with the basketball in the backcourt. Throws it across to the far sideline to Sullivan. Back to Lowe to set up the offense near the Hobbs Eagle logo. Dribbles right, fakes a handoff to Sanders, pivots up top to Sanders now, and a handoff to Hernandez on the left wing. Dribbles around the right circle, handoff to Lowe. Top of the arc, turns and pivots off the dribble, and then gives it back to Sanders near the timeline. Runs the clock at 6:07. Bounce it back behind him with one hand to Sullivan, to the near side to Mora. Mora top of the arc off the dribble. Kick it left to Sullivan. NBA 3 out the front of the rim, no good. Ripped down on the right block for the Mustangs by a Talk. That's his 13th rebound. Sends it ahead to Tong on the right wing. Back to a Talk. 8 points and 13 rebounds. He's almost got a double-double. Crossover move. He'll fire up a three, top of the circle. In and out, no good. And a rebound on that right block. Pull down for the Eagles. That was Adrian Morris, first board of the ball game. Gives it off to Lowe on the timeline as he brings it across up the dribble. Gets a screen right from Hernandez. Spins in the lane. Fadeaway jumper in the paint and puts it through on the fade. Big shot for Lowe. That's his first bucket on 5 rebounds, 69-40.
And how he kept his balance, I'll never know.
29-point lead. Stop and go Joe for Tong. Goes down the lane. High arching layup over the front of the rim, no good. Hernandez block it out. There's a rebounding foul. I think they're going to say Hernandez might have butted somebody in there. Or did they count that bucket? Oh, they called a foul, looks like.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be Houlihan. And so they're going to give Hernandez a rebound on that one. They give the foul on Houlihan, his first team foul on the Mustangs. So Hernandez with 4 boards for the Eagles. He'll be the inbounder in the paint in the backcourt to Lowe. Bounce it back to Hernandez in the far right. Cross court left in transition to Sullivan. To the left wing as he puts on the brakes. Returns to Lowe on the same side in front of the Taskovich band. Dribbling behind his legs, but through his legs and behind his back. And gives it back over to left side to Mora. Going hard down the left lane. Scoop shot over the rim, no good. Pulled down on the far left sideline by Tong, his 4th board. He gets hit hard from behind, and chopping him after he got out ahead on the dribble was Adrian Moore, who's just picked up his 2nd personal and the 3rd team foul. Not a kind of foul you want to have. That guy already got by you. You don't want to pull out the hatchet and start whacking ahead.
No, but he was concerned. You didn't know if he was going to run the lane or not and be able to get an easy bucket or not. So, he didn't want to take that foul, but he ended up doing it.
Proby checks in for Hernandez for the Eagles with the 29-point lead, 4:51 remaining in the game. Winner will play Albuquerque High for the championship of the tournament tomorrow. Inbound top of the arc, Tong. Kicks it to the right corner, but it's stripped away in the air by Mora. He'll go to the rack at the other end. Little scoop left side. He gets fouled going up. Ball comes over the back of the iron, but he'll get 2 free throws after the foul call. That is the 20th turnover. And boy, he just stepped up in the passing lane in that deep corner and then headed to the other end of the court.
Yeah, nice steal. Went coast to coast. Tried to get the layup, and instead he's going to get 2 on the line.
That's going to be the 3rd on Tong. 2nd team foul against Holy Cross. First shot is off the back of the rim, no good for Mora. He is 1 for 3 from the charity stripe. All his free throw attempts coming here in the 4th quarter. Hobbs still with a big lead, though, Ron, by 29.
Right, although you still want to work on your free throws because you never know when the game's going to be very close and the free throws is going to count. But right now, they're safe.
Well, he got too anxious on that one. Threw the ball up before it hit the rim, was chasing it and missed. So they called the violation on that one for Mora. 1 for 4 from the stripe now. 69-40. 4:42 left here in the 4th. So we'll have double championships for Hobbs teams tomorrow. The Lady Eagles will be in it against Farmington. And the Hobbs boys going to be taking on Albuquerque High. Into the front court, unloading to a Talk. He'll fire a corner shot, 15-footer, in and out. Ball tipped in the air a couple of times and finally coming down with it is low in the middle of the paint. His 6th rebound. Outlet across the timeline to Sanders. Stop and go on the left wing. He's going to spot up a 3 out the back of the iron. Ripped down high in the air by a Talk, his 14th rebound. Sends it ahead to a breaking Akana Talk, and he gets hammered from behind as he tried to light up on the right side. He got fouled, and he'll get 2 free throws out of this one. No chance to extend that to the basket. Yeah. Call that on low. That'll be his 3rd 4th foul against the Eagles.
Shot goes off the back rim or backboard as it was just a little bit off. He was too far underneath the basket.
Akana Talk trying to get his first point of the ball game. There are 3 Talks on the roster here for the Mustangs. Misses that free throw, so he does not get in the scorebook quite yet. Malachi David checking back for the Eagles. Braddock Beatty and Lyric Soria. So some of the starters back on, along with Sanders staying there. And Proby will be on the court as well, another starter. So Sanders the lone non-starter out there. Back on the line is Akon Atak. 4:14 remaining, 69-40. Hobbs up by 29. Now missing the free throw is Atak. Malachi David gets his 8th rebound, and outlet far side to Soria. Brings it across, gives it up top to David, hand it back to Soria, now in the left wing. Screen from David, flicks it over to Beatty right wing. Little head fake. He's going to drive the lane against 2 defenders, kick it back up top. Sanders has to chase it back at the half stripe. Good save for him. Dribbles through his legs, crossover, double team against him. Ball gets deflected as he tries to pass, stripped away by Houlihan, turnover number 11 for the Eagles. Up ahead to a breaking Tongue, goes to the rack on the left side of the lane and gets hammered in the head. Ball went underneath the rim, but the foul called, so Hobbs starting to pick up some fouls here. Already the double bonus now for the Mustangs. As they'll get that one against Proby, his 4th personal. And right back to the line goes Holy Cross as Mao Tong will step up. Perfect 2 for 2, but that was in the first half. Does have 10 points and 4 rebounds. Free throw good. 11 now for Tong. 28-point lead for the Eagles. As big as 33 here in the second half. Hobbs going to run the record of 10-1 and will drop Holy Cross to 9-6. Second shot is good. Converting both is Tong with 12 now. 69-42. Quick pass to Beatty up the near sideline. Crossover move to the paint. Triple team, scoop shot left glass and scores. He faked to the middle and then came around the end to the left side and puts in his 24th point of the ball game, the leading scorer, 71-42. Right corner, Ramos on the long pass as he gets it back to a Talk right wing. To Ramos and the return on the yo-yo to Talk right side circle. Fadeaway 15-footer out the back of the rim. Beatty with the rebound, top of the arc. His board goes ahead to Proby, a righty layup, misses off the front of the rim. Pulled down by Akon Atak, his 2nd. Dribbles up the far left sideline to the front court. Uses up the dribble in front of the scorer's table. Bad pass up the sideline, taken away by Soria. Turnover number 21. Give it to Beatty, he missed a layup on the right side, and another rebound by Akon Atak, his 3rd. Dribbles down the lane at the other end. Give to Ramos right wing. He comes down the lane with the lefty dribble and tries to hand it off on the right block to Houlihan, but he fumbles it out of bounds, and that'll be Holy Cross with their 22nd turnover, an unforced error on that one.
And you don't want to see those, especially when you're down by as much as you are.
Beatty gets the inbound deep left corner of the backcourt, gets a double team and gets Tomahawk fouled there. A couple of guys crashing on him, Akana Talk and Tong. And they're going to call that against Tong, his 2nd, 3rd team foul against the Mustangs. Make it the 4th. Inbound to Beatty again, near left sideline, gets stripped. He's getting run over, no call. Picked up on the steal by Tong at the free throw line. Double clutch near the front of the rim. It goes air ball, but they call the foul from behind. That was the Eagles' 12th turnover. But there's 2 free throws coming for the Mustangs. On the line will be Tong, who's perfect 4 for 4.
So far, 7 points for the Holy Cross Mustangs, well below their average of 12 in the fourth quarter.
2:44 remaining, 71-42 Eagles. There'll be 4 subs checking in for Hobbs momentarily. First shot is up and good for Tong. He's got 13 in the game, 5 for 5 in the free throws. On the court for the Eagles, Hendricks, Sullivan. Mora returns. Also Clay and Justice French. I think I got everybody in there. Oh, and one more, Sanders. Free throw coming, one more for Tong. Leans into it and swishes it. 6 for 6 in the line tonight. He's got 14. 71-44 Eagles by 27. Sanders cross court left to Clay in the backcourt. He gets double teamed. One-hand football throw to the right wing. Up for Sullivan. He's going to throw a 3 up and scores to the far right sideline over defender's hand. His first bucket of the ball game. Eagles down with 3 3-pointers. They're up by 30. Going to the rack to the other end, coast to coast. They call the foul on the drive for Willie Atak. He's trying to get himself 10 points in the game, which would make him a double-double, but he got fouled going to the hoop. As they'll get that against the Eagles, their 5th, or their 6th, I should say. That's against Sullivan, his first in the 17th foul, actually. So Atak will be on the line. He's 1 of 2, all back in the first half. Again, 2 free throws to get him a double-double tonight. Swishes the first. That's 9 points. Again, 14 rebounds. New Mexico State is one of the teams, college teams looking at him right now. He is a senior and 6'4", got some good size for him. Back on the court for Holy Cross is Peter Weinheimer. So he checks in for Houlihan. One more free throw for Willie Atak. 74-45. And make it 46 now. 10 points for Atak, double-double for him. Oh. Lane violation is going to strip him that point. He's going to stick at 9. No double-double yet, so Hobbs Eagle fans are happy about that. 2:25 left, fourth quarter, 74-45. Inbound left corner to Clay. Gives it back deep to Mora. Sends it across to French in the left wing. Left open for a second. Did not shoot the 3. Gives it back behind into Clay. Spin move for Clay. Dribbles down the lane on a stop and go. And a whistle from behind. Looks like somebody might have got a piece of him in his back. As ripping at him was Ramos. 3rd foul on Ramos. More importantly, though, both teams in the double bonus. So that'll mean 2 free throws for the rest of the game for anybody that gets fouled, and that'll put Clay on the line. He's got 18 points. He's been on the line 6 times, 4 for 6 from the charity stripe. He's trying to get his first points here in the fourth quarter. First shot's a swish for him, 19. 6 rebounds as well for Clay. Top rebounder so far has been David with 8. Then the 6 for Lowe and Clay both have 6 glass work here. Second shot good for Clay. He's got 20. 2:12 left here in the fourth. 75-46, and there's a foul near half court. Eagles chopping at the Josiah Clay, the man they get the call on there, his second. So we're going to keep marching back and forth here. A lot of fouls going on as we get Tong on the line. Not the guy you want to have on the charity stripe. 6 for 6 from the charity. He's got 14 points overall. And as I say that, he rims out no good on his next to last attempt of the game possibly. 2:12 remaining. Eagles still up by 29. Second shot is up, and it is good.
1 out of 2 on that one.
75-47. He's got 13. In the front corner pass to Clay. Gets a double team, gets around them, top of the arc. Dribbles behind his back, spin move with the left elbow. Hippity hop, scoop shot, hits the bottom of the backboard, no good. Mora chases it down top of the arc as it rimmed out. And he got fouled, pushed in the back by Atak. So Mora picked up his second rebound, and he's getting to go back to the line on that double bonus.
Yep, he is 1 of 4 from the line so far tonight.
Eagles have Clay in there, Justice French. Also out in the court, Sanders and Sullivan. And on the line, Mora. Mora's with 3 points so far, and 1 for 4, 25%, so he definitely wants to improve those numbers. Off the front of the rim, He's missed his last 4. We mentioned he didn't have any free throws prior to this game, so he's getting his first opportunity there. Janarius Lowe back on the court for Clay. Clay leaving with 20 points and 6 rebounds, so definitely a big night for him. 2 minutes left in this game, 75-48. Eagles by 27 and make it 28 after that second free throw good for Mora. He's got 4 points. 1:57 left in the front court, trying to dribble behind his back as a talk. Lost it out of bounds on the near sideline of the front court. Lowe got a piece of it, and we got another ref going to have a consultation. I guess they are going to give it to the Eagles, so good job for Lowe to cause the turnover.
Yeah, disrupted the play, and it went out of bounds last touch by the Mustangs, so Hobbs gets the ball.
23 turnovers. Does that sound like deja vu? Last night, that's what Parkland had, too.
Exactly. Well, you play well, you do it right, and it's consistent.
Eagles won by 36 last night. Pass over to the right wing to Sanders. Jab step, thought about a 3. They decided to throw it up anyway off the front of the rim. No good. Lowe gets his 7th rebound in the middle of the paint. Pass outside is tipped around and taken away by the Mustangs. In transitions to Talk after the 13th Eagle turnover. Gets it down to the right block. Reverse layup underneath the hoop by Ding after a head fake. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Kana Talk. That's his first bucket of the game. He's got 2 points, 76-50. Eagles with 1:20 remaining, up by 26. At the timeline, Low, bringing it across, middle of the Hobbs Eagle logo. Goes over to Sanders in front of the scorer's table, far right sideline. They're just running clock. Dribbles through his legs, goes hard to the rack. Windmill layup is air ball on the right side. Gets his own rebound, goes back up with 2 hands, puts it over the rim and counted. A chance for a 3-point play with a foul, as that will be Sanders' first bucket and first rebound of the game, and a chance for a 3-point play, as they call that foul on Weinheimer, his first, and continuing a double bonus look, although this will be a chance for the 3-point play, as I mentioned. 78-50, Eagles by 28 with 1:04 remaining here in the semifinals of the 66th annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament. Actually, that's 2 shots. I thought that ball went in the hole there, didn't it?
It might have, but I guess they waved it off.
Oh, wait a second. One ref thought it was 2 shots.
Oh, I see.
The other one reminded him it was. I made bucket, so I guess I'm okay on that one.
Yes, you are. 79-50.
So count that free throw.
As well as the bucket.
Yep, and the 3-point play for Sanders. 79-50, 58 seconds remaining. Losing the ball in the dribble. A top of the arc, recovers it, gives it off to Ramos right wing. He'll go to the baseline to the rack, throws up a shallow shot off the rim, no good. Rebound left elbow by Weinheimer. Gives it back up top to a Talk and wide open for a Trey. And that'll be his second tray of the ball game. He's got 12 points. He had 20 against Mayfield last night in their win. Into the front court, a pass to the right wing. Eagles up 79-53. Backing out is Sanders. Gives it back to Mora. Or actually, that is Sullivan. He's going to fire an NBA 3 deep outside near the right sideline in front of the scorer's table. Kind of a long shot to be taken with a 26-point lead. It goes out of bounds and will be Mustang basketball. They'll get it into Tong on the near sideline with 26 seconds coming across the time stripe. Waiting for a screen, gets one from Weinheimer. Top of the circle, dribbling behind his back with 20. Give it off to Ramos on the right wing, down to 16. Up top and getting banged hard as a Talk. Getting out of control there, Justin French couldn't get on the brakes and ran right into a Talk. So French will pick up the foul. That's his first. Still double bonus on the line will be a Talk. And he is 2 for 4 from the charity stripe, 50%, and has 12 points. Clock stop with 15.5 remaining, and Eagles up by 26, pinning these 2 free throws. Double-double tonight for a Talk. Free throw up and good. Also has 14 rebounds to go with those 13 points. Eagles will play in the championship tomorrow afternoon against Albuquerque High. We'll get you all the details on that one. Second shot good for a Talk. 14 for him. And a 24-point lead for the Eagles with 13 seconds left. Low with the dribble now in the backcourt. Little crossover look now on the front side. Dribbles to the far right sideline to run clock and just kind of weaving around. The defender just backing away from him.
Just like yesterday.
Low looked like he's playing Globetrotter ball, then sets it on the court, and that is a wrap. Your Hobbs Eagles with a big win, double-digit victory as they win by 25, 80-55 over the squad from Amarillo, Holy Cross. Eagles improve to 10-1. Cross drops to 9-6. Eagles in the semifinals tonight. Championship game tomorrow against Albuquerque High. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Big win for your Hobbs Eagles tonight here in the semifinals of the 66th annual Hobbs Holiday Basketball Tournament, 80-55. Eagles winning by 25 in this contest. Biggest lead was 33 in the second half, and I think it all comes down to turnovers again, Ron. Just like last night, the Hobbs Eagles had a 23-9 margin with El Paso Parkland. 14 more turnovers for their opponent. Tonight it's 23-13. So again, 10 more turnovers for Holy Cross, and Eagles started to get a few more in the second half, and it was even worse than that earlier in the ball game. So Holy Cross never got to really control the basketball the way they wanted to. Started to shoot some trays, though. They got 5 of those, but that's 15 points, and you still end up losing by 25.
Exactly, and as we've always talked about, turnovers are one thing, but when you make them into points, that's when they really hurt you the most. When you have turnovers that have no score, then that's just basically empty calories you're getting and nothing out of it. So you can have all the turnovers you want to, but if they don't get scored against, then you're not missing much. However, it was just a control problem for these Mustangs, as the Hobbs Eagles were tenacious on the D. A little bit of D from the Mustangs as well, but not enough to be able to slow down the Eagle attack.
Again, final score, 80-55. Looking at the numbers for Holy Cross, they did get 3 in double figures to their credit. Mao Tong had 15 points, 7 of 8 from the charity stripe, only missed that one free throw, and had 4 rebounds. Also in double digits, Willie Atok, 14 points and 14 rebounds, a double-double for him, 4 for 6 from the line, and he was their leading rebounder again with 14. And also in double digits, Con Ding had 13 points. In terms of the free throws, he was 4 of 5 from the charity stripe in the ball game, and finished with 4 rebounds. So they got 3 in double figures. Again, the leader, Tong 15, Atok 14, and Ding 13. So they ended up with 42 of their total 55 points, an ultra majority of scoring out of those 3. Very few other people got in the books much, but Isaac Ramos finished with 6 points, 1 of 2 from the line. He did hit a tray for his first bucket. Other scorers, including Paul Houlihan, had a bucket for 2 and 3 rebounds. MJ Tong went 1 of 2 from the line for 1 point. And Akan Atak with 2 points, 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. And that just about does it for their scoring. They had 7 in the books for the Mustangs. They went 17 of 25 from the charity stripe for 68%. Again, they had 23 turnovers, which hurt them, and 5 3-pointers in the ball game. Again, top rebounder was Willie Atok with 14 in the contest. So those are the numbers for the visiting Holy Cross Mustangs, who dropped to 9-6 on the season. Your Hobbs Eagles finished with 3 in double figures, 24 to lead for Braddock Beatty, and he has been having some consistent double-digit scoring numbers with the Mayfield and the Oregon Mountain games, and of course the game last night he was in double digits, and tonight. I mean, he's just getting out quickly on the transition, layups one after the other, doing a great job of penetration to the lane as well. So 24 points, 2 for 3 from the line. Did not hit a 3-pointer in the game, but ended up with a total of 4 rebounds. So really doing a lot of stuff out there, both offensively and defensively.
Not as many fast breaks points as there were yesterday, just 2 for him, but he had 4 steals, so that'll help as far as he tends to get the ball, steal it, and sometimes he's all alone as he races to the bucket, being able to get the layup for 2. And then occasionally, if he's got a contender behind him, he may get the and 1 as well. He did, like you said, had 2 of 3 on the line, so not many trips to the foul line, but when he did, he made the most of them, 2 out of 3. And I do believe that he is a faster, sleeker player as far as he can get up and down the court quickly, be able to make the defense suffer for him when he gets underneath the basket, or at least runs the lane. He can also get into defensive position and be able to slow down the offense of the other team.
Other scores in the game, the 20-point mark for Josiah Clay, so he definitely a big factor for the Hobbs Eagles. He went 6 of 8 from the line, had 6 rebounds, and that's a good trend we've been seeing. We talked about this in the pregame show. We got a lot of guys that are kind of vying for the glass leader in terms of rebounds. You know, in the 6, the 8, the 7 range. I mean, a lot of guys, they might not be getting 20 or so a game, but they are getting the glass. In this case, 20 points and 6 rebounds for Josiah Clay.
Yeah, and if you get 8 or more on the rebounds on both offense and defense, you're playing very well. You're playing heads up, and you're also being very aware of where the ball is and where you are compared to your opponent.
And one other in double digits in this game, Lyric Soria finished with 15. He was 1 for 1. He had 2 of the 4 3-pointers, so half of the numbers there from the arc, and had 1 rebound. So 3 in double figures. Again, 24 for Beatty, 20 for Clay, and Lyric Soria with 15. And we're talking there 59 of the 80 points the Eagles getting from those 3 scores. 7 for Malachi David, including 8 rebounds. Did hit a tray. All 7 of his points coming in 1 quarter in the third. 4 for Adrian Mora. He had a bucket and a total of 2 free throws out of 6 attempts in the ball game. Other scores, including Hendrick Sullivan, hit a tray late in the 4th quarter for 3 points. It was Jadarius Lowe with 2 points, but more importantly, he ripped down 7 rebounds. So doing something besides the scoring, he's got some stats under his name for glass work. Jalen Sanders coming off the bench. He had 3 points, a bucket, and a free throw and 1 situation. And Darius Proby finished with a score for 2 points in the ball game. The Hobbs Eagles finished with a total of 8 scores in the contest, or make that 9. They did out-rebound Holy Cross 34-32 by 2 boards. And the leader in terms of rebounds for the Eagles, the 8 for Malachi David, 7 Jadarius Lowe right behind him, and 6 for Josiah Clay. So a lot of guys doing a good job of getting stuff off the glass for the Eagles. And again, the big difference we mentioned in turnovers, 23 for their opponent Holy Cross, just 13 for the Eagles. Hobbs shot 12 of 19 from the charity stripe for 68% in this one.
Well, once again, Josiah Clay was all over the board on front and back. He had 5 steals for the game, 3 in the first and 2 in the second half. Also, it was 2 blocks provided by Malachi David, along with his steal and 1 assist. And he also had, it was Beatty again with the 4 steals and a couple of fast break points off those steals as well that made the game the difference that it was. We also had Mora, who had a steal on his own, along with Lowe. And it was a steal and assist from Hernandez, who pitched in and did very good job on the defense as well. And it was Soria once again with the 4 steals. I think that made a big difference in the second half as well as the first half. Getting those steals, making sure that you kind of disrupt that offense for the Mustangs. And before you knew it, they weren't quite sure exactly how to attack that defense that Hobbs Eagles employ so well.
So big numbers for the Hobbs Eagles tonight with the 80 points on the scoreboard. And, of course, tomorrow they will have the championship game. What time is it we're starting on that one? 3:45 for the pregame show. Tip-off at 4, so a little bit earlier start. They moved the games up tomorrow, being at New Year's Eve, and so we won't have any of the nightcaps that we've been having here the last 2 games, but also, or 2 nights. But also we have the Hobbs Lady Eagles in action as well.
Exactly, we do. They're going to go up against Farmington, and Farmington has been one of those teams of the 2 that has been able to disrupt the Hobbs Lady Eagles. It was a few years ago, but they were able to win against the Hobbs Lady Eagles in the championship and took that away. One of 2 of them that the Eagles have lost. But again, this is a different squad on both sides, and I want to see what they're going to do defensively, offensively. You know, Hobbs comes in strong on the defense. They weren't quite as big on the defense as they were the other day when they just dominated the Alamogordo Tigers. But instead, this time around, I think it's going to be a tough game again for the Eagles. But I think if they adjust just right like they always have been, they can get away with another victory and get another championship in their belt.
The Hobbs boys' opponent, Albuquerque High, the first time they've been at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, and they got themselves a championship berth. They won a kind of a real close ball game. It was very low scoring for much of it. They beat Artesia, who was the defending 4A state or 5A state champs, 44-36 earlier today in the semifinals, and got some good production out of a couple of guys in double digits. That included Ethan Ortzel. He finished up with a total of 16 points in the game, and this kid can shoot free throws too. He was 6 of 6 from the charity stripe and had 2 3-pointers, so he'll be one that Hobbs will have to be watching out for. Etzel is one of their top scorer in that game. Also getting in double digits, 11 points, and that one was for Noah Barela. Barela also dumped in a couple of 3-pointers himself, so they got a couple of guys that can shoot the trays against a very tough Artesia team, which is going to be vying for a state championship in their division.
Exactly. We always know that Artesia is going to bring their game. They always do. They are very strong for the class that they're in. And I think that's the reason why they've got so many championships across the board.
Of course, Albuquerque High has had a storied past with the Eagles. They've had some very tough teams years back, and they're trying to get a resurgence in their program. Coming down here to Hobbs to play in this holiday tournament is one way they can do it. How much do you think it's going to be important to have the six-man in attendance at this Tasker Arena event tomorrow night?
I think it's always important to have at the Hobbs holiday tournament the six-man come out. They do very strongly, and it's going to be a little bit warmer weather, so they don't have to worry about bundling up to get over here to freeze when they leave, too. But I think they're going to be very strong, very vocal, and very supporting for this Hobbs team for both sides. And I think they're going to end up winning championships back-to-back, at least for the Hobbs Eagles.
This will be the 56th time that the Eagles, out of the 66, have been in the championship game. They are 38-17 when they've been in the championship in the 55 games that they've been in prior to this. So they got a good whopping majority there, but they have not had a back-to-back since the 2003 through the 2006 season. They won quite a few championships of the tournament through those times, but so 2006, we're talking, 19 years ago that we had some the final part of the back-to-back, but it would be a nice opportunity to do that. Also, too, Ronald Ross, if he wins that game tomorrow night with his squad, he'll be the only coach that has won both twice as a player and as a coach, so that's kind of a neat number there.
And his first 2 seasons, he wins 2 of the holiday tournaments. That's also unprecedented as well. So definitely going to be something that Hobbs is going to want to come into. And again, if they start off strong like they did tonight, I think they're going to be on their way to a victory.
Final score once again, 80-55. The Hobbs Eagles winning by 25 to run the record at 10-1, their 10th win of the season, and dropped Holy Cross 9-6. Also like to say we enjoyed seeing Austin Turner and his brother Tyler coaching that Holy Cross team, a private school out of Amarillo, and they'll be playing for 3rd place tomorrow, so wishing them some luck there in terms of when they hit the court once again. It's nice to see a former Hobbs Eagle still keeping in the coaching ranks and keeping the dream alive for kids. Ron, again, we'll have that game tomorrow, 3:45 pregame, 4 o'clock. The tip-off, the girls will be before that on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. We'll have the game also on the radio for the boys at Cole 95.7. Let's thank some of those sponsors out there for our Hobbs Holiday Tournament this year, keeping all these games on the internet and the radio.
Exactly. Thanks to all our sponsors, including DNC Electric, Bel Air Bowl, Southwest Siding Windows and Doors, SunGuard Precision, Hobbs Express, Lee County State Bank, Forest Tire, Eunice Pump and Supply, Divine Energy Services, along with Master Plumbers, Innomar Pipeline, First American Bank of Hobbs, TDS, Badger, Lasco Construction, and Eastern New Mexico University. Thanks again for your support, guys. Without you, we would not be able to go this on the air, on the radio, and on the internet that goes worldwide.
Final day of the tournament tomorrow. Again, 3:45 for the tip-off of the Hobbs Championship against the final team that they will be playing, Albuquerque High. Thanks to Jessica Fred on the scoreboard tonight. Evie Stuber back at the station, always doing a stellar job back there, keeping us on the air. Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend. Again, have a good night here from Tasker Arena, and we'll see you tomorrow for a championship.